Hey, Tracy Nelson here with Creation Adventures and Outdoor Education. Today we're going to be in the kitchen and I'm going to show you how to cook and prepare one of my, I think it's one of my favorite, but I think it's one of the best ways to prepare venison. Even people that don't really care for venison, when I make these, they're called venison roll-ups. Venison roll-ups. And when I make these, people seem to just fall out for them. They just love them. They talk about how good they are. They can't believe it's deer meat, okay? So, first of all, let me go over the ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need some deer backstrap. That's what I have here, okay? I have some deer backstrap. You see it? And what we'll do with that, as I'm talking, is we'll prepare it the way I'll show you how to prepare it, okay? So there's one piece. This is about, it may be almost one, probably a half of a backstrap altogether, thereabouts a half. And of course it's been prepared. I've trimmed most of the sinew off there, the real chewy parts. And that's what you want to do. You want to make sure you get as much of that chewy part of the back strap off of there. Okay, see, I left a little bit right there, and I'll just take my knife. By the way, if you like that knife, that's one. Well, this is one that I've made. It's a fillet knife. I use it in the kitchen all the time. I don't have one of these available just like this, but I have several available on my Etsy shop, knife shop called Shinbone Knives. If you're interested, go to Shinbone Knives on Etsy and you can look at that. Okay, so you need some backstrap. I do all my own deer processing, and so I just got this out of the freezer and thawed it out. You need some mozzarella cheese. Okay, I probably won't use but near half of this, but you'll need some mozzarella cheese. You need some bacon. Okay, now I've got some turkey bacon and I've got some pork bacon. The reason I have both, you can use whatever you like, but I have to eat the turkey bacon because I've got some health issues with pork, so I don't eat the pork, but my family does, so there you go. And you'll need some jalapeno peppers. Here's some that I canned actually in 2023, some slices, and I'll show you what to do with those. Also, you need some marinade of some kind. I'm going to use a little teriyaki and a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. Okay, not a lot. I don't want to overpower it, but you might want a real strong marinade. That's up to you. Marinate it, because what we're going to do is we're going to marinate after we cut this and prepare it. We're going to marinate it overnight. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go down through here and I'm going to slice crossways. I'm going to slice this pretty thin. Okay. Now, what I'll do next, and I'm not going to do everything right here, I'm just going to show you the process, is you'll lay these pieces out, and you need some kind of tenderizing hammer, okay? What I'll do is I'll go through here, and I'm going to really flatten that piece of meat out, all right? And so it looks something like this, because what's going to happen is we're going to roll this thing like we're rolling a piece of paper or something, okay? Now that's going to go in my little pot here, because that's what I'm going to use to marinate overnight. So what I'll do is I'll go and take all this meat, all this piece of tenderloin, and I'll do this, okay? That's step one. Like I said, I'm going to put it in this container, and then I'm going to put some marinade in there. I'm going to cover this in foil. I'm going to put it back in the refrigerator, and I'm going to let it sit for 24 hours. Okay? And then when I'm done, when it's good and marinated, I'll come back and show you what to do from there to get it ready to cook. Okay? Okay, welcome back to this cooking demonstration. Now we're to the place where I've got this little container full of marinated venison that I marinated overnight. And what we're going to do, oh, by the way, I left off one thing in the first video, the first part. You'll need some toothpicks, so get you some wooden toothpicks for this cooking, making this dish. All right, so what I'm going to do, here's my turkey bacon, and I'm going to cut these slices in half. Now what I've done is I've tried to get organized as much as I can to put all this together. I've got my jalapenos, a little pile of jalapenos right here on this plate with some mozzarella cheese. Here's my toothpicks. And I'm going to take my bacon. It's pretty simple. I'm not going to do all of these, but I'm going to show you just the process. So you lay your bacon down on your, I use a cutting board. Just go ahead and lay all this out. Okay? And then the next thing is you'll get you a piece of this marinated venison. Okay, and you're going to lay this. You're going to lay it out flat on that half a piece of bacon. Now, if you're not familiar with white-tailed deer and the cuts and stuff, the meat, I've said this was backstrap, and that's what a lot of people refer to it as. Some people also may call it tenderloin, and you have the backstrap tenderloin, and then you also have what's called the inner loins, which is on inside of the deer's carcass. So anyway, now that I have the meat on top of the bacon, I'm going to take my mozzarella cheese, and I'm just going to be very generous with that because a lot of that's going to melt as you're cooking it, and it's going to run out. And then take your little jalapeno slice, and what I did is I cut them so I could just lay them, and maybe they'll fit better in the roll up. These are called venison roll ups. I have yet to find someone who didn't like these once they tried them. Okay, this is what my grown children request during the holidays that I bake is deer roll-ups. Okay, so look, we're almost done here. The next thing is we're just going to take this and we're just going to roll this up nice and as tight as you can. Okay, so where it looks like that. Then we're going to take our toothpick, and you might have to take two of them. Okay, so that would be one. I would lay that aside, and then I would go to my next one, and I would roll this up. There you go. Pretty simple, okay? There's no reason for me to do any more. I don't think. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Now the only thing we have left to do is to cook them, and I'm gonna cook them on a Blackstone. You can cook them on a grill. Just be advised, if you use a grill, you're gonna lose a lot of your cheese and stuff because it's gonna melt and fall down, you know, between the grate. All right, and on the Blackstone it may run out there, but I can take my spatula and scoop it up. Now, if you have children that you're feeding these to, they may not be real big on the jalapenos, so you may leave off. You might make some of these and leave the jalapeno out, which is what I'm going to do today because I have family coming over and we have young children coming over who love these, but they don't like the heat. So there it is. That's the deer roll up, and then the only thing we have left to do is to cook it, and we'll do that, and I'll show you that in just a second. All right, so like I said, all we had to do now is put them on the Blackstone, which that's what I'm using. I prefer to use the Blackstone because to me I don't lose so much of the cheese and stuff by falling through the grate like on a grill, and I can just use my spatula and scoop them and turn them. And here, all you want to do here is make sure your bacon gets cooked through and through. I like to use a lower heat. One of the things with venison, sometimes people make the mistake of cooking it on too high heat and cooking it too fast. So I'll cook these a little slower, and I'm gonna put my lid on my Blackstone so it'll cook through and through, and then they're ready to eat. And so I just encourage you to get out and hunt the whitetail deer, of course, and I've got some videos on that if you're interested. I've got several videos on the 10 Commandments of deer hunting, and these are things that I live by when I go deer hunting, and I've used for many years with lots of success. Now remember, I'm a deer hunter. I'm not a trophy hunter. I'm a meat hunter, and I encourage you to try this recipe, all right, and see if you like it. It's a wonderful way to prepare venison, and it will also inspire you to get out and harvest some more animals to put in your freezer. Okay, so this is Tracy Nelson with Creation Adventures and Outdoor Education. Like and subscribe, and hopefully you'll watch some more videos, and hopefully we can learn together. Well, God bless you. Have a great day.